The school year is winding down, and it's a perfect time to get outside and enjoy the natural state. For educators from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, summer break also means it's time for the annual Kings River Youth Camp, a summertime tradition that's been taking place on this North Arkansas waterway for more than a decade.
Kings River Youth Camp has been going on for a number of years now, and it's kids from Northwest Arkansas from a Boys and Girls Club. And the Game and Fish Commission, we provide the staff that wants to share our passion and our expertise in certain things like canoeing and shotgun shooting and that sort of thing.
24 youth from the Benton County Boys and Girls Club attend the 3-day event. And for many of them, being in the outdoors is a new experience.
For some of these kids, this is the first time they've ever camped. This is the first time they've ever paddled in a canoe. It certainly would be the first time that they've ever shot a gun or used a bow or tried to catch a fish.
Throughout the week, they're going to learn all kinds of things in snorkeling classes. They're going to learn about fish identification. They're going to learn about stream ecology and collect the little insects or macroinvertebrates that live in the stream. They're going to shoot shotguns. Bow and arrows. So they're probably one kid that may not love everything, but they're going to find something that they really enjoy during the week.
And it's great when you see the anxiety in starting a new activity like that, and then how they overcome that, and then just want to learn more and do more. It's pretty cool.
If you're going to be floating the river, one of the first classes you have to take is Canoeing 101.
We want them to be safe, and we want them to learn some skills before we head down the river the next day. So a big part of it is putting them in canoes, them learning how to work together. There's a lot of team building. If you've never been in a tandem canoe before, you got to really work together. So we teach them some of the paddle strokes, some safety things. I mean, we want to get right in there with them. The thought of, tipping over in a canoe is a really scary thing. So we'll show them how it goes first. And that way, when it probably happens to some of them during the week, they have the skills to know how to get all that heavy water out of that canoe and that they're okay.
The camp's goal is to introduce young people to the joys of the great outdoors, but there's also a focus on educating them about stream ecology and the environmental factors that affect the river.
We really focus on the river and studying the rivers, the ecosystem, the aquatic ecosystem, learning from that, getting an appreciation for that balance. So we start from the very beginning with a macroinvertebrate survey. This is where we collect the aquatic macroinvertebrate, the bugs that live in the substrate of the river, and actually collect those bugs and look at them, look at their form and their function, how they work, what makes them sensitive to certain areas of the river versus being very tolerant to changes, and thereby understanding, just by looking at these creatures, how great this river is and how much of a delicate balance that it's in.
Instructors say the Kings River provides a perfect backdrop for the camp for a number of reasons.
What's interesting is I don't think the Kings River is known statewide, like the Buffalo or the Caddo or some of those other rivers, and so it doesn't get the traffic. And there's not a lot of public accesses on the river either. So we have to work with landowners to get access to parts of the river that we need to do projects that we do.
One nice thing about the Kings River, it's close to where these kids live. For them to have proximity to it means maybe they'll go back to it. But it is an extraordinary water resource in this state. It's a very healthy stream. One of our activities is learning that by looking at the things that live in it. So it's a beautiful place to fish for smallmouth bass and other Ozark species. Great wildlife watching, great place to snorkel and get in and swim. It's a really special little stream.
Game and Fish educators are providing outdoor knowledge that these young men and women can carry with them for years to come. And hopefully, they'll become lifelong fans of the great outdoors and good stewards of Arkansas's natural resources.
Then take that and through the rest of their lives harness that and not only gain an appreciation but even some stewardship and giving back. You know, so if I can get a kid to paddle a river for a couple of days, he may paddle the river for the rest of his life. You know, and he may care about fish, and he may care about the pollutants that are in the water, and the kinds of gravel that are in the water, and that's what we want. You know, and then they're going to be buying those licenses, and then they're going to be voting, and being responsible citizens of the great outdoors. That's the goal.
You know, a lot of these kids have not had experiences in the outdoors like this. So what I really hope is they get a primer that maybe now they can say to their friends and their family, hey, let's go rent a canoe and go paddle for the weekend. They've had that little bit of a kickstart that they're going to go further with it now. And some appreciation. You know, if they've not had this exposure to the outdoors and conservation, hopefully they start to get a love for it and want to get more involved.
The Kings River Youth Camp is packed full of fun and adventure. But first, you have to earn a spot in the camp. When we come back from the break, we'll find out more about this unique outdoor experience. We're back at the annual Kings River Youth Camp, where high school students from the Benton County Boys and Girls Club experience the outdoors with a float trip and other activities on North Arkansas's scenic Kings River. But before they could take part in these outdoor pursuits, the students had to put in extra work during the school year to be selected for the camp.
Our Keystone program is a character and leadership program, and so they're required to get 10 hours of community service a month. On top of participating in projects. So our main project areas that we focus on are academic success, career preparation, and then community service. So how can we better serve our community? Whoever throughout the whole year can get their 10 hours a month and then come to meetings, that's kind of what they're chosen. We have a lot of teens, so a lot of them work really hard just to come to this trip because they've never had this experience before.
All throughout the school year, our Keystone group, we put in it's required to have 10 community service hours each month, and then we have events that every Keystone unit has, such as like teen outreach events, you know, where we all get together or where we all go volunteering at a specific event. And so the people that get the most community service hours and that go on the most events are the ones that get chosen on there. So you kind of do it throughout the year, and so that's how I was one of the people selected to come, just by dedication to the Keystone Club.
This is Fernanda Alcantara's second time to be selected for the camp. She says this is a great opportunity to learn about the outdoors.
You know, I think all throughout the school year, I think a lot of us teens, I might speak for them, we're so focused on school and getting our work done, and then once summer hits, you know, you think about camping and hanging out with your friends. And so I think this is just an awesome opportunity to get to do that. I think a lot of us might not get the chance to go camping that often because our families aren't really into it. So getting that experience of, you know, camping and setting up a tent and struggling with it a little bit, but going canoeing, just knowing all of these basic things that make summer fun. You know, you get a break from school, you get to have fun with your friends, and just, it's a really cool experience.
For many of the students, this is the first time in the outdoors. And in this day and age, the camp provides a little time away from phones and social media.
A lot of our teens have not ever experienced camping, setting up a tent. They've never experienced canoeing, shooting a shotgun, or doing archery, and so none of them ever get those opportunities. And I think that this particular trip is probably the all-time favorite at the club. And the reason being is because when you get out here, you don't have any cell phone service, and a lot of teens are ingrained in their cell phone, their media, social media. You get out here and all that's taken away. So they interact and bond like a family out here. And they're able to build those relationships, trust in one another, and really just have you know, a lifetime experience, enjoying nature, enjoying each other.
Over the course of the camp, Game and Fish instructors give the kids a chance to learn a number of new skills, from canoeing to archery to shooting trap, and even snorkeling, which gives them a chance to see what lives in the Kings River. And most camp participants find something they can take home with them and enjoy for a lifetime.
I like to go hiking, I like to be outdoors, but getting to do these activities like canoeing, that was pretty fun. Or archery, that was something that I always thought was so interesting, but that I appreciate a lot more now actually getting to try it.
For the instructors, it's always rewarding to see the participants' passion for learning about the great outdoors.
The first year that we did the Kings River Youth Float, we were amazed at how wonderful these kids were to work with. And we said, is this going to happen next year? And each summer we go, oh my gosh, what a great group of kids. They are really remarkable. They want to learn. We've really been impressed with how positive they are and how helpful they are, and just the fact that they really want to learn.
It's not hard to determine the camp's effectiveness when you have students who've come back again and again.
I know there's several of them that this is their third or fourth time, but it's the trip that they look forward to every single year. And they go back and they talk about it with their friends, and they get other friends to try to join Keystone and to join the Boys and Girls Club to come to this trip, to experience the things that they've experienced. And so I think that's just, it's a good vibe all around, because they have a special bond here and they take that special bond back with them. And so I think the whole overall experience is better for them, and they can come back and enjoy it again.
Experience that hopefully will create memories that will last a lifetime.
I think it's just important for them to just realize that they don't have to always reflect on social media or what others are saying around them, that they can actually just go somewhere where it's peaceful and quiet and kind of collect their thoughts and be able to enjoy fishing if that's something that they've never done, or just taking a walk, being in the river, swimming, anything that's going to get them to kind of clear their mind. And a lot of them may have problems going on at home, and this is a place where they don't have to think about that. They can actually just be a teen.
I see that there's so much more to nature than I thought of before, so I feel like I want to be outside more. I feel like I want to go and do activities on my own beyond this camp.